If the gospel is Jesus came into the world to save sinners, then that's a gospel that can actually hold you as you, a sinner, venture into the real world. Hi, I'm Kendra Dahl, and I'm the Director of Content for Core Christianity, and this is my daughter, Hadley.
Hi, I'm Hadley, and I'm a freshman in high school.
So we have this new booklet for Core Christianity that we just released that we're really excited about, called How to Keep Your Faith After High School. And I wrote it. I wrote it because I didn't keep my faith after high school. And as my daughter has entered high school and is just starting to navigate some of those years that I recall, it's especially important to me to want to equip her well and to equip young adults like her to be able to stand strong in their faith as they leave their parents' home and the comfort of the churches that they maybe grew up in. You know, I struggled with this understanding of Christianity that was all about following rules. You need to not ask questions, you know. I think by the time I got to college, I was just buried in that shame, and I didn't have a gospel that was clear or strong enough to pull me out of it. And so that was a huge impetus for wanting to write this booklet, because the very first thing that I say about how to keep your faith after high school is you have to get the gospel right. If the gospel is follow the rules or follow your dreams, that's not going to sustain your faith. If the gospel is Jesus came into the world to save sinners, then that's a gospel that can actually hold you as you, a sinner, venture into the real world.
When I heard my mom talk about her experience with not really knowing the why, it definitely stood out to me, because I also have just grown up in an environment where I've always been around other Christians. All my friends are Christians, all my siblings' friends are Christians. And so it wasn't as much of like a personal choice you made for yourself as it was just something everyone did. And it wasn't until I was in middle school that one of my friends kind of started asking questions, and no one really knew what to say to him. None of my teachers knew what to say to him, so everyone was just kind of like, well, we just believe it. And while we do have to believe it, they're also knowing the why is really important. And it's been really cool growing with my friends who are Christians and kind of seeing people make the decision for themselves, and not it just being, instead of it being something that you're forced to do, it's more of a personal decision that you make.
So I wrote this booklet primarily thinking of, you know, high school students, or the young adults who've just graduated, first year or two of college, or out in your first job after high school. But as a parent of a high schooler, I couldn't help but be thinking even of my friends and my husband and I as we walk through these years with our kids, and like, what are the things I want to make sure we've talked about? You know, do you have the gospel right? Do you understand why we go to church, what we believe about the church, why it's important? Do you understand what the content of our faith is, but also why we believe these things? And do you know that it's okay to ask questions? Do we talk about God's goodness? Do they understand that God's rules are good and that He is doing good to us in giving us these laws? And also, even just as life is hard, have we modeled good suffering? Have we walked with our children through their own suffering and helped them to cling to the goodness of God in the midst of that? And I hope would equip parents or youth leaders or pastors to come alongside the youth in their church as well, to really give them that solid foundation that prepares them to leave and go off on their own.
I remember reading through this booklet and just thinking, like, this is exactly what people my age need, because it walks through not only the know what you believe and why you believe it, but also just like clinging to God in the hard times, like my mom mentioned. And I just think it's such a cool resource, because a lot of times teenagers, kids feel like they can't ask questions, and so it's important to not just accept the questions, but also help them find the answers.
If you'd like to receive a free copy of How to Keep Your Faith After High School, you can get it at our website, www.corechristianity.com/booklets. We also have our booklets available in bulk quantity, so if you want to get them for all of the graduates in your life, or if you are a youth leader and you want to get them and maybe you go through them together in a Sunday school class, we have those options available as well.
And if the idea of reading a booklet is just really not your thing, trust me, I read it in an afternoon, it's really not that bad.